So I'm just an idiotic, stupid dog, and this was the craziest thing I ever heard. The man said to me when he was like 31, 32, 33 years old, and his dad would take him to some highbrow situations. Sometimes they would fly to New York City for some big muckety-muck things, like they didn't have the Met Gala back then, but they had some other things that they didn't know what they were. When they opened up the Guggenheim, he would go up to Rhode Island, out there on the Cape, and there would be some mansions they would frolic around. He'd be a 31-year-old guy, and the man was like, I felt so uncomfortable. I felt sort of placed because I'm a Western Kentucky guy, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we lived in Pennsylvania for a while. We had some properties here, there, everywhere. We ran around with the Florida elites. Running around with the Florida elites is like running around with some hillbilly snake charmers. Don't worry about it. Florida elites are like the lowest form of elites that there ever was. Don't worry about it. It's okay. But anyways, we would run around with the Florida elites. We would run around with the Rhode Island elites. The Rhode Island elites, they had a chip on the shoulder because they thought they were superior to everybody but the people in Connecticut. They hated the people in Connecticut. Just don't worry about it. The man was like, I had one little kind of simple ruse I would do. So I would I would feel so uncomfortable, but yet, because I had oxygen deprivation, brain damage, it's like I was always on Xanax. I was like, I'd get so worked up, so verklempt, so worried. I'd be so charged up. I'd feeling so, I would be so off put because I have so much, whatever you call inferiority complex. And what do you call it? Where you're a recluse. You're a shy person. You're introverted. So I would be like, oh my God, I've never seen these kind of places. My dad would bring these palaces. I'd be like, you're trying to introduce me to all these people. These people are raised on this kind of Met Gala bullshit. They feel so happy. They feel so great. They love it. They're in their element. Me, I'm a fish out of water. So I would always feign that I was deaf. The man looked at me. I was like, oh my God, what? He said, yeah. I'd be introduced to all these upscale people, all these gorgeous people, all the beautiful elites, all the beautiful people. And I look at him, I smile, I'm like, I can't hear you. I'm legally deaf. Not only am I legally deaf, this was the kicker. The man would say, I would tell these people, not only am I legally deaf, but I've got dyslexia lip reading. I have dyslexia lip reading. I read whatever you say, I'm reading it half backwards. I'm legally deaf and I have dyslexia lip reading. So I don't even know what you're saying. You're beautiful. I don't know what point me to the bathroom or point me to the bar. You got a bar over here? Because I don't even know. I'm a fish out of water. I don't know what's going on. So the man said to me, and I take him at his word, when he was 31, 32, when his dad would take him to these posh elitist gatherings. Maybe they were in Western Kentucky, maybe they were in Florida, maybe they were in Rhode Island, maybe they were in Vermont. A lot of them happened right there in the Big Apple, New York City, New York, US of A. He'd always look at the people and say, hey, you're beautiful. He'd smile like, I don't know what you're saying. I'm deaf. He'd tap his ear, tilt his head, and tap his ear. He's like, I'm legally deaf. Not only am I legally deaf, I have dyslexia lip reading. I have dyslexia lip reading. So it's a lost. Yeah, I don't know what to say. He'd nod like wave. Yeah, whatever. And he got out of all. And he would hang around for a long time. He always tried to find a pool table. A lot of these places, believe it or not, they called it billiards, but they had pool tables. He'd drink himself half inebriated. It was, whatever. This, to me, I was like, I looked at the man. I was almost like, I'm an idiotic, stupid dog who could talk, and I never became famous or rich, even though I'm a talking dog. Somehow I feel that we were born to be together because you had all the, whatever you say, all the advantages. You were like your childhood was built on a starship, launching pad, but yet you used some kind of a feigning deaf, feigning lip reading dyslexia to get out of any kind of uncomfortable social situations. You made no kind of effort. You weren't worried about it. You just drifted along. You just bobbed along with the current. Am I right? And I was like, yeah, you're exactly right. That's exactly what I did.